Father, will you tell us the story again?
And what story is that, my children?
The story of Adroa. Tell us about the visitors from the sky again.
Oh, all right. If you promise to go to sleep.
Yes, we promise.
Yes, we promise.
All right. Now quiet down, my pups. He was the protector of his village, the chief of their war council. He had a way with people and nature around him. He had a temper, but he was a just and honest leader. And soon after his 35th birthday, he would no longer be just a man. He would be a tamer of beasts, the master of the wilds, and his name was Adroa. And one day, he fell from the sky thousands of years ago. The warm sunlight was hidden from the people of his village by the shadow of the moon that day. The land grew cold and dark. A great shining slab of rock sailed across the sky as silent as a ghost, like a ship with the morning mist as it sails. It swallowed him up like the lapping tongue of a dog. He was swept from the earth right before their very eyes. But then the vessel shuddered and shook and screeched, and the next moment, he was released back to his people, falling from such a great height, they say you can still walk in the earth scar he made on the ground near the river where he landed. Adroa was transformed on that great cosmic ship. What felt like only minutes for his tribe felt like decades for the great African ruler. While aboard, his formless captors skinned him, drowned him, healed him, and transformed his mind, body, and soul simply out of curiosity. They wanted to know who we were and what we were made of. They wanted to know how we create life. And there were others aboard with him. Elephants, wolves, fish, lions, hyenas, and other beasts of the African plains were collected and combined with each other in every conceivable way. Men, women, and animals caught in the gaze of the ship's mighty eye were lifted into its belly and torn and twisted and made into new creatures, new abominations, new gods, new horrors. Not all of the living who left came back to Earth alive. The only 3 to return with breath still in them was a woman who swam like a fish and breathed ocean and seawater. Her beauty and song were enchanting, and no man could resist her predatory seduction. The siren vanished into the sea and was never seen again by the villagers. Another was a lioness. She was fierce and strong and could transform into a woman with raised hair the color of a pink flamingo, though she could never manage to conceal her swinging tufted tail. She too tore away from the valley where she was taken and disappeared into the wilderness. But the lioness would faithfully return whenever the prides and people of Africa summoned her for protection. They say the lioness can live forever. And Adroa was returned as a wolf, fully transformed and in command of his own awesome power. He was what came to be known as a werewolf, a great equalizer of the earth. Because of the inner conflict between the man and the beast within, Adroa must relinquish power and control to the wolf when its blood essence becomes too potent. He must release him or he will suffer greatly. Adroa was fated to transform into the beast, often when the moon was high and full in an unending perfect cycle. Despite his strong will, there was no way to stop the change or to satiate the lust to eat the heart of his enemies, whoever they may be. And after many failures, he welcomed the next generation of wolves. The first pack of 7 male pups was conceived with his human wife, who wouldn't survive the ordeal. Though they appeared human, they carried the blood of Adroa and the wolf stalking inside of it, and once they had matured, however long that may take, they would be ready to run alongside the pack of their alpha leader. The little pups grew up to be strong warriors and continued on to saturate the lands of Africa with sacred heart-eaters, protecting the people from the dangers of the wilds, both animal and human. But they only killed out of necessity. They fight only to maintain balance. They possess the capabilities to speak to the earth and the animals. Their human mind strengthens their resilient nature. Their sense of smell is by far the greatest on the planet. They're nearly indestructible because of their ability to adapt and shift to any physical imposition, yet their mortality keeps them compassionate, motivated, and humble. The children of Adroa are marked by their confidence and inner peace. Most humans can feel our animal magnetism. We understand humans and their needs, their wants, desires, and what scares them most. Other children of the moon, such as vampires who can be vicious and thoughtless in the night, kill to survive. But Adroa's descendants are patient and wise. They hunt and attack only out of protection or provocation. The alpha wolves, who are the most powerful and most respected, must possess every quality of Adroa, from his strength and discernment to his leadership and family values. To lead the pack to greatness, one must strive for greatness within themselves. Adroa's descendants have found peace and tranquility by living in secret within their own villages all over the world. But as planet Earth's population continues to grow, century after century, generation after generation, alphas have been charged with forging their own footpaths, drawing their own lines in the sand and pushing new boundaries to keep their tribes and their way of life alive. Those who are superstitious say the spectre of Adroa appears to people at the time of their death, signifying the transition from life to the afterlife. Those who see him in his full form under the light of the moon believe that death is near. But as we know, my sleepy little pups, to encounter the blood of Adroa is to greet the great sacred protector of life.
I want to become alpha someday, father.
And a great alpha you will be, my son. Now, as you promised, go to sleep.
But I am not tired.
Sleep, now.
Oh, come on, father. Just one more story, please.
You're right. I'd better get some rest. Good night, father.
Good night, son.